Hey folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the Movies, back here again in the movie space and joined once again by my lovely girlfriend Laura.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about the fantastic 2019 film Knives Out. Knives Out was written and directed by Rian Johnson. This is an updated take on the classic whodunit style of thriller. There's suspense, there's comedy, there's twists and there's turns. There's moments that'll make you laugh out loud, and there are moments that will also make you feel things. This is a real roller coaster of a journey of a film. It's absolutely superbly acted by the cast. You've got a fantastic cast of Ana de Armas, Daniel Craig, Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, and Christopher Plummer as Harlan Thrombey, the man whose death everyone's trying to solve. The basic plot is that Harlan Thrombey has died. Was he killed? Did he commit suicide? And if he was killed, who done it? The family stand to inherit a large amount of money if Harlan has died, and want to understand what's happened, as it will infect their inheritance. There's, like I say, the twists and the turns that this film takes you on very early on. It lets you know that whilst it's going to pay homage to the classic whodunits of Agatha Christie and the like, that it's also going to do its own thing, and that's what this film excels at, is doing its own thing. It takes a concept that we already know and builds upon it from there. The humour is mixed with the suspense perfectly, and the cast absolutely do a fantastic job with what they're given to work with.
Definitely.
Every character has a motive. Every character also has, their own alibi, their own reason as to why they wouldn't have done it and why it would be beneficial for the chap to still be alive. And it's just that right up until the last moment as to what's really gone on, what's really transpired. And as we delve deeper and deeper into the plot, the more layers that it seems to have, the more suspenseful it becomes and the funnier it becomes as well. It's a really satisfying conclusion. Daniel Craig and Ana de Armas are the standouts. Ana de Armas plays Marta Carrera. She's Harlan Thrombey's carer and nurse, Harlan Thrombey being, of course, played by Christopher Plummer. Daniel Craig plays private investigator Benoit Blanc. Blanc really brings this film together. As I say, the supporting cast rounded out with Jamie Lee Curtis playing the daughter of Harlan Thrombey, the deceased character. Toni Collette playing the daughter-in-law, and we've got Chris Evans as well playing the grandson. It's, like I say, just a really, really, really good and really entertaining film to watch. Laura, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. When I first saw the trailer and then went to go and see it, I didn't quite know what it was I was expecting, but I was rewarded. I absolutely loved this film. The storyline takes you in a whole bunch of different directions, whereas with other whodunit kind of things, it sort of leads you in one straight line with a turn or a twist every now and then. This one is all over the place, and it really works.
I really liked that as well. That the classic whodunit, there's been a death or there's been a crime, and who did it. That is resolved fairly early on in the film, but it's how we get from point A to point B that becomes the rest of the film, and that's where it becomes really interesting. In the cinema when we watched it, and we got to that point where it was like, oh well, I thought this was going to be the finale of the film, but we're only half an hour in, so it couldn't have been. It couldn't have obviously been the end of the film.
Definitely.
And I was sort of like, my curiosity peaked at that point. I was like, okay, well, you had my curiosity, you've got my attention now, to quote the quote Tarantino there. I can't absolutely sell this film enough. I'm trying to be really reserved in talking about it because I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it.
With it still being the most recent film, there are probably going to be people who haven't seen it. So.
And just one of those where if you sort of say what's happened in explicit detail or give any detail away, it would ruin it for you. And I think it's one that if you've not seen it, you should reward yourself and definitely go and watch it. This film was my standout film of last year, and we saw it quite late on. We saw it just a couple of days before Christmas. I was unwell, and we almost cancelled the tickets and got a refund, but we persevered. I thought, no, I'll go out and I'll get a bit of fresh air. And you know what? I'm so glad that I caught it in the cinemas, especially with everything going on in the world right now and cinemas being shut. I'm really, really glad that I got to experience this one in the cinema. Ordered the Blu-ray and that came this week, so we're able to watch that again on Monday night, and had an absolute blast in doing it.
I think what I absolutely love about this film is there are little clues in there you've really got to pay attention to, little clues that are linked to something in the film itself, things that won't won't quite understand why they're there at first, but they become apparent later on.
Absolutely, or things that are sort of, you know, almost irrelevant, so that things will get said and it could just be a passing comment. And the way that Rian Johnson's written it, he was nominated, sadly didn't win the Oscar, but was nominated for Best Original Screenplay for this, and it's a well-deserved nomination. And the positive reviews that the film has received as well are definitely well earned. Like I say, it keeps you interested right from the moment. The way it's filmed as well. I'm not too au fait with the technical details of it, but it looks as though it was filmed in the 70s. And I don't know whether that's a digital effect that's been put on it afterwards, or whether it was actually filmed on film. But you can see like the noise in the picture and the grain sort of the film, and like I say, whether that's a digital effect to make it look aged, or whether it was actually filmed on that medium of film. I don't know, but it all just adds to the absolute sort of total package of the film. I really enjoyed it. You've probably gathered that from this review.
Really good, yeah. I've got to say, I think all the actors they hired to play the characters, they were absolutely brilliantly cast. They really, truly were. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis was brilliant, and so was Daniel Craig, and just everybody played their parts really, really well.
Absolutely. I mean, Daniel Craig's accent was a little bit interesting. The first time we watched it, we both sort of gave each other a bit of a look and went, really? But they even play on that in the film. One character he introduces himself to a character, and the character turns around and goes, "So who's this? CSI KFC?" And things like that. But then there's other moments, later in the film, like I said, that are played a bit more seriously, and the characters. There's characters in this that appear almost two-dimensional, and that's to their credit as well. They're written that way, but then actually the story progresses and they've got more about them, and it's like I say, I really would recommend watching this film. Okay, so we're gonna rate the films now, as I always do. I'm gonna give that an 8.5 out of 10. An absolutely fantastic film.
Yeah.
I thoroughly recommend it. Laura, what's your rating?
Same as you, 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10.
Absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you very much for watching this review. I think as a lot of my and Laura, when she guests reviews, tend to be, it just ends up being a conversation, almost a rambling on our thoughts and stuff. For anybody who's been watching and has subscribed to the channel recently, I've seen a few people subscribe recently. Thank you very much. For folks who are leaving comments on the channel, absolutely really appreciate your feedback and your encouragement. Please give the video a like, and please subscribe to the channel. It helps it to grow. Thank you so much again for watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you again soon.